Thomas and the new engine. The engines on the island of Sodor are kept very busy. There are always lots of jobs to do. One morning, Sir Topham Hatt came to Tidmouth Sheds. He announced. Later, Thomas was stopped at a signal. The signalman called down to Thomas. Huffed Thomas. At the yards, Harry and Bert were with Neville, the new engine. Neville was a steamy, but had a square body like a diesel. Neville was backing up towards some trucks, said Harry cheekily, said Bert naughtily. Then there was trouble. Harry and Bert laughed. Neville looked sad. Oiled Bert, and they laughed even harder. Thomas arrived at the yards. He could see Harry and Bert laughing with Neville. He thought. Thomas arrived at Knapford Station. Asked James, said Thomas. James was shocked, snorted James, and he started to tell Edward all about Neville. Later, Edward was taking on water. He was talking to Percy. Edward puffed. Peeped Percy, whistled Edward. Later, Percy met Emily at a red signal. He told her. When Thomas arrived at Abbey Station, Sir Topham Hatt was there. He boomed. Thomas felt proud. It was a very useful job. Just then, he heard a whistle. Someone was coming. Thomas had to warn them. It was Neville, pulling Annie and Clarabel. Thomas was shocked. Annie and Clarabel were his coaches, puffed Neville cheerfully. Thomas huffed crossly. Neville didn't know what he had done. Then Emily pulled in next to Neville, said Neville happily. Emily let out a wheesh of steam. Thomas was surprised, but the station master blew his whistle and Neville puffed sadly away. Thomas asked Emily. Emily whistled. Huffed Emily. Then Toby arrived. He puffed. Emily was shocked. Thomas couldn't believe it. Neville wasn't friends with the Diesels after all. Emily tooted. Cried Thomas. Neville was speeding through the countryside as fast as he could. Suddenly, Neville saw a barrier on the track. He slammed on his brakes, but it was too late. Neville was in terrible trouble. He was on the broken end of the bridge. Thomas knew it was all his fault. Suddenly, he had an idea. Thomas steamed slowly and carefully onto the bridge. He gently bumped Clarabel and was coupled on. The bridge made a creaking noise. Thomas knew he must hurry. He pulled as hard as he could, and with one big puff, he pulled Neville's wheels off the bridge. Thomas had done it. He had saved Neville, Annie, and Clarabel. Whistled Neville. Puffed Thomas. Thomas gave Neville a long, friendly toot-toot. Neville was very happy. At last he knew he had a good friend in Thomas.